Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know this video is going to be very different from what you're used to watching, as I'll be giving you 5 challenging tips to success. Sit yourself down, think of what you want to do with yourself, and start working towards it. Now, I'm saying this because I know there's a lot of people out there that tell themselves or listen to the advice that says, it's okay to not know what you want to do. It's okay to have test runs. It's okay for you to try different things. It's okay for you to make mistakes. You learn from them. Well, sorry to break your heart, because there's certain mistakes that as human beings we can make and we cannot rectify. A lot of things as grown-ups, yes, it's okay for you to go and learn through experience. But then sometimes it's so much better for you to learn from another person's experiences. I urge every single millennial watching this video to go and learn from other people's mistakes. Prefer to learn from people's mistakes and people's experiences and not having to learn from your own, because not every mistake you make can be reversible. I honestly do believe that the clock is ticking. You never get the luxury of, it's okay, he tried that, it didn't really work out. You know what, let's give him, extra time. Let's give him 10 more minutes. Let's give him 10 more hours. Let's give him 5 more years to fix himself. It doesn't really work like that. You have one shot with everything, especially when it comes to creating businesses and what you want to do with yourself. I honestly do believe sitting yourself down, think about what you want to do and start planning towards it. Because you see some musicians today, people like Rema, people like Chris Brown, people like Justin Bieber, people like Rihanna. And let's go back into the corporate world. We're talking about people like Bill Gates. They figured out what they wanted to do with themselves. Bill Gates figured out what he wanted to do with Microsoft and the tech world a lot earlier in his life, long before he got into college, long before he finished college. And now everything he started doing from the moment he created the idea, the moment ideation was already set, was working towards accomplishing slash fulfilling that goal. Because I want to let you guys understand that not every goal and dream in life has enough time, has enough room for mistakes. Everyone needs a role model, someone to look up to, someone to fuel passion and ambition. I think no matter how great of a thinker you are or a hard worker you are, no matter how great of a person you are, no matter how well, mentally driven you are, you still need somebody to look up to. You need that figure, you need that person in your life that you can learn from, you can get tips from, you can get advice from, and you can kind of channel your own goals. Like, not saying your goals has to be alike, I'm just saying your goal has to have some sort of guidance, and you can only get that if you have a role model. And your role model does not always have to be somebody in your life directly. It could be a pastor that you watch on TV. It could be a motivational speaker you watch. It could be, somebody on Instagram, on social media in general. It can be somebody that you just look up to, somebody that you really admire, And I feel like once we have that kind of asset in our lives, everything that we do is just going to be as smooth as a baby's butt. The whole point is just to make sure that there's certain mistakes you don't make. Like, for example, myself, my role model is my father, and I look at some of the things that he does. There's certain things that I do that, I ask myself, I'm like, okay, does that really make sense? Like, okay, how would I really handle this situation? Or why should I do this? Why should I do that? If this situation was flipped, if I was to be in this situation, how would I handle this? Well, hold up. How would my role model handle this? And then I think about it and I say, okay, he'll do it this way. He'll most definitely do it this way. Okay, I guess that's the kind of mindset I need to have. So it kind of disciplines our mindset, disciplines and reshapes or gives our goals in general some sort of guidance. Let me just make it so much easier for you. It gives our goals some sort of guidance. So yes, you need that influence in your life whatsoever. We as millennials tend to come up with an idea and start running with it. And as a matter of fact, we start flying with it. But the thing is that when you sit down and listen to people that have been there before you, no matter what type of trade, no matter what type of business, no matter what type of field of study it is, even if you're a YouTuber and the person that's trying to give you advice is, the corporate world. I honestly believe that everybody has, when you listen to people, you tend to pick a thing or two that will stay with you. No matter how different your lanes might be, you have to understand that there's wisdom that comes with the gray hair. As long as that person is older than you, as long as that person has been through more, has more experience than you do in this life, there will always be something to take home when you listen to people like that. So yeah, in general, just listen. You never can tell what you would actually get from somebody. Even if what they're saying does not mean anything to you, you don't like what they're saying, it does not relate to you. Like imagine somebody telling me, don't smoke, don't drink, make sure you do things, make sure you watch the people you're around. To me, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do none of that. But at the end of the day, I can listen and be quiet and be like, okay, thank you very much. And the way I can interpret what that person just told me is, he's trying to say, watch what you're exposed to. I can interpret it like that. I can interpret, okay, yes, I don't smoke, I don't drink, but what are the chances of me actually falling into that kind of sin or falling into that kind of bubble? The chances are pretty high because I'm around that, where I live, where I go to school. It's everywhere I'm at. So that advice is probably telling me, hey, listen, no matter what you do, no matter how high you get up in life, make sure you never fall far from the wagon. Never fall off the wagon. Like, I can interpret things my own way. That's what I'm trying to say. Forgive me rambling right now, but the whole point is, listen, you never can tell what you can take out of it. It might not apply to you, but you might get something out of it. Listen, modify it, trim it, and apply it in the best way it fits your situation. Surround yourself with helping and positive minds, preferably minds stronger than yours. I get it. A lot of us, especially millennials, we don't like to work with people. We like to do our own thing. I don't like to work with nobody. I'm independent. I get it, guys. I promise you, I do understand 1000%. But you have to get in the habit of being around people that are stronger than you, mentally, physically, because you never can tell what ideas or what tips you can get from them. It's all about feeding off of the next person in the room, because you can be in a room with people that are stronger than you until you get closer to them. You can never decipher or tell what they're carrying, and that's the truth. A lot of people are quiet. A lot of people are the type to be like, well, I know for a fact that, I know what to do to help this person out, but I'm not going to say nothing until they come to me. It's not a good spirit to have, but then, you can be stronger than that person by having that kind of personality to move to them. That personality that's receptive, always wants to be around great minds. You never can tell what you can gain from them. So please, guys, get off this habit of, I'm independent, I like to work by myself. Nah, I don't need no help. I get that. I love it. You guys are macho. It's beautiful. But two heads are better than one for a reason. This is an adage that's been said for decades. And, it's like it was said decades ago for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So always surround yourself with people that are stronger than you mentally, physically. You never can tell what you can pick up from them. It's great for business. A spirit that generates, feeds off, and delivers positivity. I honestly believe that, until people millennials get into this habit of being very humble, being very receptive with people, it's hard for you to be successful. Like, nobody wants to work with anybody that lacks humility, that's not easy to work with, those kind of things. Let's get out of that habit, guys. Let's have a very receptive spirit. I know a lot of us have this, quote unquote, resting bitch face. I get it. Sometimes you just want to be in your zone, but be welcoming, because you never can tell, who's around you that might feed you something that will be beneficial to you unless you act a certain way, which is being nice. So I honestly believe that we all need to get into the habit of being receptive. To be successful, you have to have a very receptive and welcoming spirit. You find yourself, like I wrote down, humble to advice, slow to anger, easy to work with, and accommodating, and most of all, preferable amongst your competition. Hands down, nobody wants to work with anybody that lacks any of these skills. Because think about it, a lot of people, well, when you go on social media, you hear somebody saying, yo, this person is dope, I like your vibe. Vibes means that person, most of the times, means that person has a very welcoming spirit, has a very receptive spirit. That person is dope to be around. Dope to be around. You can't be that kind of person if you're not receptive. Well, if you're not, if you're not humble, if you're not easy to work with, if you're not accommodating. And, these are things that, we need to be successful in life. And, it just makes life easier. When you think about it and strengthen the idea with inspiration from your role model, with a little bit of great listening skills, I'm sure you would be convinced as to why you should surround yourself with influential people.